Manual leveling. Automatic leveling? Hey, how you doing? Duff here, and time for a quick Duff 3D video. I just wanted to give a little update on my AnyCubic Chiron that you hear printing behind me right now. I've gotten to use it a decent amount the last week or so that I've owned it, and for the most part I love this printer. It's almost everything that I hoped it would be. There are a couple things that are strange and buggy and annoying, but really the most glaring one is this. Okay, let's see. This, which you can hardly see, is my attempt at printing the leveling G-code file after using automatic leveling, and this is after just doing it the old-fashioned way with paper and cranking the knobs. Manual leveling, much better. So I find this behavior stupefying, to be honest with you. I don't understand the implementation. I know I had heard people complaining about the auto leveling on the Chiron, but I had not heard specifics of why. And now I understand why these people were all frustrated by it. It seems to me like a feature that really almost shouldn't even exist, or definitely should not exist in its current form, because it seems like when you choose automatic leveling, you know, anybody would think, okay, well, I'm going to do automatic leveling. Automatic equals easier, right? Wrong. Automatic leveling on the Chiron is a huge pain in the ass. What I did when I first got the printer was I manually leveled it, and to manually level it, the process is there's a manual level G-code file that you load on the control panel, and then you just go around. I disabled the motors. I homed all axes, and then I disabled the motors, and then I did the leveling like I would do in my i3 Megas. Basically just going to all four corners in the middle, doing the whole sequence probably 2 or 3 times. I think twice actually was enough. And after I did that, I printed the level G-code, and I got something quite good. Not perfect, but pretty darn good. So my thought process, and again, like I said, I hadn't looked into all of the issues reported with the automatic leveling, but I figured, yeah, I guess if I do an automatic level on top of my manual leveling, it'll be better, right? It'll be more accurate. It's going to account for little undulations in the build service. Should be great. So I read up on the manual what to do. It says you have to load the automatic leveling G-code, which I did, and then you have to attach the leveling block, which is a touch sensor, which is magnetic, which just clips on over the hot end, and you begin the automatic leveling process. The automatic leveling process seems really cool. It goes around and it touches 25, I think it's 25 points on the bed, getting, I guess, offsets for each and every point, and it didn't take very long to run. And when it finished, I took it off, fired off the test pattern for the G-code, thinking it's going to be better. It's going to be better than my manual leveling. And I watched the thing start, and the print head is, I don't know, 2-3 millimeters above the surface. And I'm like, what the hell? What's going on? So I figured I must have done something wrong. So I just go back and I repeat the automatic leveling process, making sure I follow the instructions completely. Start the bullseye test print again, and had the same results. Print head hanging well above the base, the print base, just basically dragging filament around the base. So yeah, I was frustrated. So then when you read the instructions, it talks about, okay, well, what you're supposed to do is you run the automatic leveling process, and then you start the test print, and then you watch the test print, and based on how far away it is, and it does mention that it's going to start high, you start the test print, and then you just start moving the head down. You have to stop the test print, move the head down using the control panel, and start the test print again. And I did it 3 or 4 times before I said, screw it, this is ridiculous. It was so tedious, and I figured, okay, I must be doing something wrong. So I go on the AnyCubic YouTube page, and they had a video, how to do automatic leveling on your Chiron. It's insane. the thing is, it's like 15 minutes long, and the last half of it is them just continuing to run through this leveling process, and then starting the test print, seeing it's too high, moving it down, start it again. I mean, literally in this video, they went through that process, I don't know, half a dozen times, 7 times, 8 times, I don't know. It was just insane. The whole thing makes absolutely no sense to me why they would think that this made sense, or why anybody would want to do this. It's just dumb, man. It's really dumb. I guess when I posted, I complained about this on the AnyCubic forum, and someone said, well, the reason they do that is because they don't want to damage the bed. Well, what the hell? I mean, they have this automatic leveling touch sensor. It's a finite distance. They know how much distance is between the bed, or the print head, and the bottom of the sensor. You don't need to put an extra 2 millimeters to 3 millimeters of cushion on top of that. It totally defeats the purpose of something that is advertised as a benefit for the Chiron, automatic leveling. So, yeah, automatic leveling as it is ridiculous. Maybe it's something that they'll rethink, and maybe we can fix in a firmware update. I don't know. But the bottom line is, I switched back to manual leveling, which I had a hard time figuring out how to do it, because once you do the automatic leveling, all those offsets are in there. So I'm like, okay, well, how do you clear it? I didn't see a button to clear all those offsets. The way to clear all those offsets is you have to run the manual level G code again, and then that will clear the offsets. You can go back and do your manual level. So that took me a while to figure out. But man, that's frustrating. It's just so dumb. But and the other thing that bothers me about the Chiron is the filament loading. Not a good time. Not fun. I'm used with the i3 Mega on the i3 Megas. Very easy loading of filament. Just squeeze the handle, push the filament up a few times, it gets in the tube and you're ready to go. With the configuration on the Chiron, it's much more aggravating. It takes repeated efforts, and I think my final technique that I come up with is, you're just kind of twisting and turning, just hoping that you're going to get the right angle on the filament, and then pushing hard, and eventually it'll just pop in and go. So I'm getting better at loading it, but it's not nearly as easy as on the i3 Mega. So anyways, now that bitch session is done, and it sounds like, oh my god, Duff must hate this printer. No, I really like this printer. I just am not going to ever use the automatic leveling feature, and I assume that I'll get better at loading filament over time. But other than that, this thing has been printing great. The quality has been on par with my i3 Mega, and I love the bed size. The bed size is awesome. I'm actually able to print. Able to print all the parts for a stand, for an electric unicycle stand, at one go. I can print the 2 sides and the 2 bottoms with lots of room to spare, to be honest with you, at one go. Now, granted, it takes about a day of printing to do that, but I can do it. So it's going to be a nice time saver for me. And like I said, the print quality has been very good. Prints have been adhering well to the ultra base, popping off just like they're supposed to when it cools down. So yeah, other than those couple things, so far I really like the Chiron. So if you have any hesitation about buying one, I would encourage you to go ahead and do it. If you're waiting for something with monster size, the only thing I haven't done yet is something really big. Everything I've been doing is low. I haven't done anything high to test the limits of the 450 millimeter build height. So I need to do that yet. But other than that, yeah, it's been great. Overall, I really like this printer, and I think for the $5.99 I paid for it, it's a good deal. So I'm hoping that they're going to soon list this on Amazon. I believe that they were supposed to do it in September. I haven't seen it up there yet. So hopefully in October they'll get the Chiron on Amazon, and I can put a link in the description below for it. But yeah, just wanted to let you guys know I like the Chiron a lot. Pretty awesome printer. So that's all I got for you for now. If you found this video interesting, please give it a big thumbs up, or 2 if you want to. If this is your first time on the channel, please consider subscribing, especially if you found me on the Duff 3D channel, which is in dire need of additional subscribers. It's pretty pitiful right now. And feel free to leave your comments, suggestions, and ideas below. That's all I got for you for now. Hope you're having a good day. Hope you have a good week. And until next time. Duckman out.